Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay. Well, let's learn English together. And welcome to the week. Yes, hello. Welcome to the studio on this, the very first day of the week. Yes, people, it's Monday and we're back here in the studio, raring to go, excited about the English we're going to see this week. So, I presume that everyone's ready. I presume that Gusti, the dog, has calmed down after his mad chicken dance. Presumably, Margot, the cat, is yawning lazily. And George, poor George. Well, he's probably tuning in as we speak. I'm sure they have TVs in fish heaven. So George is here as well, in spirit, if not in body. Okay then, grab your coffee and let's get it on. Okay, so last week, we had a look at the use of the definite and indefinite articles. Okay, great. And it was great fun too, wasn't it? Yes. Now this week, it's time for us to revisit some of our old friends. It's time we paid a trip to the Benchfields. Benchfields, here we come. Look. There they all are. Alfredo, the head of the family, his wife Mary, mother to their 4 children, Tim, Elizabeth, Doreen and John. Well now, it's been a while since we last saw them, but they all look fine, don't they? They all look fit and healthy. Good. Okay. Well now, look at what they're doing. They were standing in the garden, and now they're going into their house. Now, did you hear what I said? Yes, that's right. I used a couple of prepositions there, didn't I? I told you that they were in the garden. Do you all remember the preposition in? Who remembers what sort of preposition it is? Yes, bingo wings. That's right. In is a preposition of place. The first time we met the preposition of place in, we also met 3 other prepositions of place. Do you remember them? We met these prepositions of place when we were looking at the animals in Doreen's bedroom. There were 3 pets in the room. There was a dog on the bed, a cat under the bed, a hamster in a cage, and Doreen was standing next to the window. Okay. So I know that you know all of these prepositions, but let's just run through them one more time, shall we? Alfredo is standing next to Mary. Mary is standing next to Alfredo and Tim. Tim is standing next to his mum and Elizabeth. Elizabeth is standing next to Tim and Doreen. Doreen is standing next to Elizabeth and John. John is standing next to Doreen. Okay, so that's next to. And who remembers the synonym we learned for next to? That's right, my chickens of the forest. There was a synonym for next to that we learned a few lessons after we first met prepositions. Can anyone remember what it was? No? I'm sure someone remembers, but just in case some of you have forgotten, let me refresh your memories. The word we use as a synonym for next to is beside. So, we can say that Alfredo is standing next to his wife, or we can say that Alfredo is standing beside his wife. Both are possible. The 2 words are synonyms. Okay, so what about the other prepositions that we know? Well, let's have a look at the Benchfields and see which prepositions fit what they're doing. So, let's look at the pictures and decide which preposition we should use. Well, first of all, let's look at the picture of Doreen. She's standing in the garden. That's true. And we used a preposition of place there, didn't we? She's in the garden. Good. But what if we want to give more information? What if we want to be more specific? Exactly where in the garden is she? That's right. She's standing under a tree. Doreen is standing under a tree. Good. What about Tim? Well, Tim is also in the garden. Doreen and Tim are in the garden. But Doreen is standing under a tree. And Tim is... well, Tim isn't standing, is he? No. Tim's not standing. He's sitting, isn't he? Yes. And where is he sitting? Tim's sitting on a bench. Can you see? Yes, that long chair. That's a bench. You often see benches in parks, but the bench fields have got a bench in their garden. And Tim is in the garden, sitting on the bench. Now, why do you think I used the definite article in that last sentence? Yes, that's right. We know which bench we're talking about. It's a particular bench, a specific bench. It's the bench in the Benchfield's garden. So, because we all know which bench it is, we use the definite article. Okay, and on we go. Now, what about Elizabeth? Well, where is she? Is she in the garden with Doreen and Tim? No, Elizabeth isn't in the garden. She's in the house. Great! Fab! 99! Okay then, let's move on. Let's see what other prepositions you can remember. Now, these are the next few prepositions that we learn together. And what I'd like you to do is to pick the correct picture. The picture which shows what the preposition means. Are you ready? Yes? Well, here are the prepositions. In, on, under, next to, beside, between, in front of, behind, opposite, above, below. Okay, now have a look at the pictures and try to decide which picture matches which preposition. Okay, so those are the pictures, and now, well, now all we have to do is make sure that in the sentences below, we put the correct preposition into the right sentence. Number one, Doreen and Tim are standing each other. Number two, Mary and John are sitting each other. Number three, Alfredo is standing Elizabeth. Number four, the Benchfield's car is the house. Number five, the cat is lying the car. Number six, John's picture is the others. Number seven, Tim's bike is the house. Number eight, Doreen is standing her parents. Okay then, how was that? Easy, no? Okay, well, let's find out, shall we? Let's check them together. Number one, starting, as we usually do, at the start. Beginning, like normal people, at the beginning. So, number one, what do you think the answer is? It's opposite, isn't it? Yes. Doreen and Tim are standing opposite each other. Great! Well done, and on we go, like the Lone Ranger and his famous sidekick, his assistant, Toronto. On to number two. It's next to, isn't it? Yes and no. Because if the answer to number 2 is next to, then the answer to number 2 is also beside, isn't it? Yes, those two are synonyms, so it's up to you. You can choose next to or beside. Mary and John are sitting next to or beside each other. Magic! Number 3. What have you got? Ah, it's an easy one, isn't it? It's behind. Alfredo is standing behind Elizabeth. Of course, we could also change the subjects around and use the opposite of behind, couldn't we? We could say that Elizabeth is in front of Alfredo. But for this picture and for this sentence, we'll say Alfredo is standing behind Elizabeth. Good. All right. Now we're cooking with a halogen hob. Right then, what's next? Aha, the sentence about the car. It's which preposition? That's correct. It's in front of. The Benchfield's car is in front of the house. Super duper! And on we go to number 5. What do you all think? That's right. This one is easy. Where's the cat? The cat's under the car. It's under. The cat is lying under the car. Sorted. And so, here comes number 6. And it's a sentence about John's picture. Well, look at the pictures on the wall. And what can we see about the picture of John? That's right. John's picture is below the other pictures. John's picture is below the others. Fantastic! And on we go, on to number 7. And it's an easy one, isn't it? In fact, it could actually be 2, couldn't it? Yes, we can say that Tim's bike is next to the house, or we can say that Tim's bike is beside the house. Simple. You pick. Tim's bike is next to or beside the house. Great! And on we go. Now, a sentence about Doreen. Where is she standing? That's right, she's standing between her parents. Doreen is standing between her parents. And that's it. We've answered the final question. And, well, we're almost at the end of the 15 minutes. Yes, we've been having so much fun revising and practicing our prepositions of place that the time has just flown past. Time flies when you're having fun. So, okay, we've finished for today, but all this week we're going to be keeping up with the Benchfields, revising and checking all the prepositions we've already learned. And guess what? Yes, that's right. This week we're going to look at some new prepositions. So, gird your loins, brace yourselves and get ready. We start tomorrow at dawn. Well, no, that's another little white lie. We're not starting tomorrow at dawn. We'll start at the same time as usual. So, get ready, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Of course, if you want to check up on any of the old lessons or the vocabulary from the old lessons, then you know where to go to, don't you? That's right, fire up the internet and go to www.monkeybanana.jp. Nah, sorry, wrong address. Go to www.m5tv.hu. That's the correct address. Okay, my chickens of the forest, it's time for me to go. See you later. Have fun. Bye.